Taxpayer-subsidized NPR, along with 3 of its Colorado-based affiliates, are suing the Trump administration after President Trump's executive order cutting off the mullah. Remember, this is the same organization that admitted to covering up the Hunter Biden laptop story. NPR CEO Catherine Marr also owned up to her own bias before Congress, including her social media posts claiming America was, quote, addicted to white supremacy back in 2020. The left-wing slant of PBS and NPR, that's not in doubt, folks. Some conservative media groups have said if leftists deserve taxpayer money, so do conservatives. In point of fact, no media or press outlet deserves an American taxpayer-funded subsidy. Let's bring in our panel, host of the Michele Tafoya podcast, Michele Tafoya, and actor Dean Cain. Hey, guys, welcome back. Michele, I want to start with you. The idea that any media deserves taxpayer funding is kind of ludicrous on its face, in my view anyway. It's not government's role. Where am I going wrong here?
You're not going wrong at all. I was nodding over here as you were saying that because the lawyers for NPR are suggesting that this executive order that they are suing about is to quell free speech, is to prevent the exercise of the First Amendment by NPR and its stations. No, it's not. No, it's not. No one's asking them to stop talking or to stop expressing themselves. What they are saying is not $1 of taxpayer money should go to support that. And nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the First Amendment guarantees anybody money to present themselves. Also, you know, the act that set up the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, NPR and PBS, was like 1967. That was pre-internet, pre-satellite, pre-cellular, pre-cable. You know, we only had like 3 networks. We've come so far, virtually anyone can express themselves online, whether you like what they say or not. This is about the funding, as you've said, and there is no doubt that this is a left-leaning organization, NPR.
Dean, in the meantime, the Trump administration announcing plans to yank all remaining federal funds to left-wing Harvard University. This, of course, comes after months of violent anti-American, anti-Semitic protests across several Ivy League schools, including Harvard. Harvard was asked to comply with some of these rules being implemented by the Trump administration, and they refused to comply, but they still want taxpayer dollars. How do you see it?
Well, I went to Princeton, so I'm not a big fan of Harvard to begin with. Look, it's the same thing Michele was saying about NPR, which she was 100% correct on, by the way. You know, why do they deserve taxpayer money? If you're taking taxpayer money and federal money, then you better follow the rules. And there's no question they haven't been following the rules. They've got a $53 billion endowment, which is taxed at like 1.4%. They got 27% of their students are foreign students. They're thumbing their nose at this administration who is giving them billions of dollars. And you can't do that. If you do it, you're going to get cut.
That's right. Well, if you're going to take the taxpayer money, there's strings that come with that. That's how it works. Michele, and about what we were talking about, the left-wing press, it doesn't need any help out there from taxpayers. You reposted on X a touching tribute to the young Israeli couple gunned down by a left-wing loon last week in D.C., and I was shocked at how quickly this and other horrific crimes committed by the left wing just get swept off of media coverage. Kind of revolting, in my opinion. How about you?
Yeah, the other revolting thing was that you saw some really strong leftists go onto platforms, social media platforms, and say that this was totally deserved, that these 2 people were war criminals, that they supported genocide. All of those words that the left likes to try to use to pit Israel versus Palestine, completely forgetting that there was a ceasefire on October 6th of 2023, and it was broken by Hamas. And this murder of these 2 embassy individuals is so despicable that it happened here in America, and that some Americans are applauding it. Shows you where we are, and it is not, I don't think it's a good place.
Yeah, well, these kids were committed to stopping the bloodshed, getting aid to those folks in Gaza. They were trying to stop all the fighting, and of course, they paid with their lives. A deranged left-winger